Crayfish can be found all around the world, with more than 650 species. However, the highest diversity of crayfish can be found right here in the southeastern United States. Different species of crayfish are adapted to different habitats with specific environmental conditions. Depending on the species, they can be found anywhere from streams to marshes or even caves. If fresh water is available, crayfish can make themselves at home. Crayfish are known to alter their habitats to their liking. Even the smallest crayfish can have extraordinary impacts on their environment. These little animals manipulate sediment to alter the topography of their habitats. The degree of this ecological engineering depends on the species. Some crayfish dig simple pits, while others create entire burrows with extensive tunnel systems. Regardless, these pits and burrows provide excellent hiding places to escape predators. Millions of years of evolution have shaped crayfish into creatures specially adapted to their environment. Let's take a closer look. The hard shell surrounding their body is called the exoskeleton. This exoskeleton isn't able to grow like the rest of the body. Instead, the crayfish must replace it with a new one. This process is called molting. The crayfish temporarily lose their hard protective shell until a new exoskeleton grows in. This behavior allows crayfish to continue to grow and replace any damage. Their bodies are divided into two main parts, the abdomen and the cephalothorax. While insects have a separate head and thorax, the cephalothorax of the crayfish is fused into one segment. This fusion allows for better specialization and efficiency of all appendages attached to the cephalothorax. Included in these appendages are antennae. Crayfish have one long pair of antennae and one short pair of antennules. The antennae are utilized to feel around their environment for important tactile signals, while the antennules are specialized for chemical detection. Together, these appendages allow crayfish to easily sense prey, predators, and possible mates. Crayfish also have 5 pairs of walking legs. As the name implies, these legs are primarily used for walking. However, the first pair of walking legs are specialized claws. Their claws are like a built-in multi-tool. Specially designed for gripping and pinching, claws provide for great versatility. Crayfish can use these appendages for feeding, mating, fighting, and more. Under their abdomen, crayfish have 5 pairs of swimmerets. These smaller appendages are used to circulate water for respiration. However, males have also developed a use for swimmerets in mating. In males, the first pair of swimmerets, known as gonopods, are enlarged and specialized for this reproductive purpose. Females, on the other hand, lack these specialized swimmerets. Instead, they have a gonopore. Finally, crayfish have stalked compound eyes. Their compound eyes contain thousands of tiny structures that each function as a separate camera, while the stalks allow for great range of vision. This provides crayfish with excellent eyesight. Altogether, these parts create an animal capable of fascinating behaviors. When exposed to a new environment, their first priority is to explore. Exploratory behavior includes increased locomotion, rearing, and antennae movement. Each of these behaviors allows the crayfish to assess its new environment, but they can be energetically costly. Sources of food and shelter are high priorities for survival, so the crayfish are willing to expend extra energy to find these resources. When they find a food source, the crayfish will first grab with their claws, then utilize their feeding appendages to hold the food while they eat it. Crayfish are opportunistic feeders, so they avoid expending excess energy when feeding. They will usually retreat into a hiding place where they can store and safely eat the rest of their meal. Crayfish are omnivorous scavengers. Their diet consists primarily of vegetation and detritus, but they will also eat any small animals they can get their claws on. Their consumption of detritus, or decaying matter, is crucial to the health of the ecosystem. By consuming this matter, crayfish fuel decomposition and return essential nutrients to the environment. Crayfish also display grooming behavior that is essential for their wellness. Crayfish use their feeding appendages to groom their antennae and their walking legs to groom the rest of their body. By grooming, crayfish can remove parasites or irritants that could threaten their health. Crayfish populations are often fairly dense, to where crayfish may frequently come in contact, and access to resources can become competitive. Crayfish establish dominance to resolve resource conflicts. Typically, dominance is based on size, with larger crayfish being more dominant. If a more dominant crayfish approaches an occupied resource, then the occupying crayfish will retreat. This hierarchy provides for clear resource possession, without the need for fighting. But if crayfish are around the same size, dominance is not immediately clear. In order to establish their place in the hierarchy, the crayfish must fight. A crayfish challenges another by approaching with claws spread. The two challengers then latch claws. They attempt to push one another in a contest of strength. Meanwhile, their feeding appendages move rapidly, sending signals of either aggression or submission. This push and shove continues until one crayfish retreats. The crayfish have then solidified their places in the hierarchy of dominance. For now, dominance is reversible, and challenges to the hierarchy can occur frequently. Crayfish must stay vigilant to defend their access to resources. Despite their small stature, these little critters can make a big impact on their ecosystems. Each of their behaviors have been specially designed for survival in their environment. There's much more than meets the eye in the curious life of the crayfish.